Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. It's Mark from Burton Bibles. I hope you are all well, and I just wanted to take a few minutes to do something a little bit different perhaps on the channel, usually reviewing Bibles, but very occasionally I come across a book that I feel I will share with you, just to bring your attention to it, and if it sounds like something that's of interest, you can pop out and buy it. Well, when I was at the Christian Resources Together event a few weeks ago up here in Derbyshire, I met a lady called Kate Nicholas, and she was absolutely wonderful. She was awesome to talk to. I spent quite a while over lunch, or was it dinner? I can't remember. And we were chatting away, and she was telling me about her life, which just sounded incredible in terms of the eventfulness of it. She's very well travelled, very well read, and she has some awesome stories to tell. And I was telling her a little bit about myself, and she suggested that it would be amazing if I could take a look at her book. This is her brand new book, and it's called To the Ocean Floor. And so I was happy to take a copy of it to read for myself. And I must admit, this has been a fantastic read for me. I do read quite a lot anyway. I generally read, 30, 50 books a year. But this has been a real breath of fresh air. Something a bit different for me because it's a very personal tale. It's autobiographical, if you like. But it tells the story of Kate and how she went through cancer for the second time. So she has a book out already which tells the story of her first brush with cancer, and maybe I'll leave a link for that in the description here as well. But this is the second sort of memoir, and it's called To the Ocean Floor, and that really is depicting the descent, if you like, the low place to which many cancer sufferers come to, and Kate certainly came to, where you feel like you're sinking and you're submerged, and it's a dark place. It's a very real place as well. So this is a very gritty book, a very real book, and it deals with issues that are obviously quite difficult for a lot of people. And this book is different, though. I found this read really quite different, because the way Kate sort of tells the story of the events, of the treatments, the discovery of it, the aftermath, the impact on the family, etc. What comes across is that this journey, if you like, this terrible situation, actually became something of an opportunity, if you like, for Kate, because during that process of that journey, a journey that plumbed great depths, hence to the ocean floor, it becomes very apparent that, of course, for the believer, you do not take that journey alone. The scriptures are full of assurance and promise for believers that you don't go through anything alone, and God, although he may not spare us the experience, the difficult experiences of life, the troubling, sorrowful times of life, he might not spare us that, but he certainly will go through it with us. And that certainly comes across in this book. Kate's faith is presented very strongly. And as I said, she used this process for the second time, of course, having had cancer. I think it was 7 years previously, and had the all clear sort of thing. There's another trial to go through for her. And it really brings her very, very close to her God. And she takes that opportunity to draw in close with God. The scriptures say, don't they, draw near to me and I will draw near to you. And certainly that seems to be the case for Kate. She looks to God for help, and she looks to God for comfort, for strength, for resources through that extremely difficult time for her. And undoubtedly the depths of the experience are illustrated in the book. Kate went through some horrendous things, had to make some awful decisions, and went through this really difficult treatment process. And it's quite moving in parts. But Kate does a great job of presenting her experience, also with a bit of humour as well. And I quite like that, because that's not often something we associate with these types of experience. But certainly Kate's able to take that balanced type of view on life as she goes through this. Now, the connection with God that Kate has is something that's obviously very important to her. And I think when you go through such an extreme experience as this, where you are sorrowful, you're confused, perhaps you're angry, perhaps you're emotional, you're upset, you are going through tremendous anguish and sorrow. And what Kate uses that is to bring her close to God and to strengthen the connection with God. And she does that via a number of techniques and attitudes and approaches, and she details them in this book. And it's certainly a useful thing, because certainly from my own point of view, with a very more traditional view, if you like, of relationship with God, this is really challenging, because Kate speaks about meditation. She speaks about different techniques and approaches whereby you can sort of close everything out and just close in with God and have a close, deep connection to His Word by repeating and memorizing and chanting almost. And sometimes in a situation such as Kate was in, when she's in an MRI machine or having a scan or an umpteenth chemotherapy session, sometimes that's all the strength that you have, is to remember something that you've read and repeat it again and again. The promises of God, the assurances. Kate quotes the Psalms quite freely, and has clearly held on to certain scriptures that really helped her in those moments of immense difficulty. So it's a book that I really recommend. Like I say, I'll leave a link to where you can get this. And she's a wonderful person. She thoroughly deserves our support and our encouragement. So let's encourage her together. Maybe cancer has affected you, touched your life, or the lives of loved ones. Well, this book is a unique perspective. It offers a perspective of what it means to go through that as a Christian. It gives us that perspective of hope, of love, of peace, regardless of the outcome. And of course, for a lot of people, they don't get the same outcome as Kate did. She was treated successfully. But nevertheless, this book is a valuable insight into what it must mean to go through something like that. I just thought I would share perhaps one paragraph with you, because this book is really incredible, and I just want to read this to you, because this is how this sort of main part of the book ends. What follows after this is just an epilogue where Kate's recounting some events and experiences after the treatment. But this is when her life was in the balance. She was actually suffering from an aneurysm. I think it was an internal hemorrhage and a peri-arrest of the heart due to a massive loss of blood. And this is all sort of following cancer treatment and a wound that was still bleeding. Now, here she describes the feeling of being rushed into A&E, to intensive care, and being operated on, or else she's going to die. And she relays that to us. And she says here, "Then, as I begin to slip into unconsciousness, something ancient, wonderful, and unfathomable begins to rise up from the oceanic depths of my being. An indescribable power ascending from the shadowy depths, surging up through the waters of my soul until it breaks through the surface, consuming me, inhabiting every fibre of my being, and in the final moment of awareness, there is but a single thought: Jesus. So, a wonderful read, and a roller coaster of emotions, shall we say, but thoroughly recommended from myself. Really had an impact upon me. So if that sounds like something of interest to you, do look this up and try and get hold of a copy. Take care, God bless, and we'll see you again soon.